Newborn photography camera settings. In this episode, I'm gonna share with you my settings that I use every day on my camera in newborn photo shoots. Firstly, I am using Sony camera. The model is Sony A7 Mark IV. The lens I am using now is 24-70 G Master 2 f2.8 from Sony. This is the lens that I am using right now. I have other lenses that I use as well for newborn photography. If you want to learn more about the lenses that I use in newborn photography and what situations would I use each different type of lens, please leave me a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I'm gonna share a lot of information about newborn photography. Now let's proceed to the settings that I use in my camera for newborn photography. Before proceeding with the camera settings, please make sure that your camera is on the photo mode. If it's not on the photo mode like this, there is a button here that you can press to twist the dial and change the mode. So make sure it's on the photo, not on the video or the S and Q. Another thing, make sure that your camera mode is on the manual mode. Here is a little line. You have to make sure that the line is aligned with the letter M, not any other mode. Most people shoot on the auto mode. No, we want to be professional photographers, right? So you're gonna be shooting on the manual mode. Now you can proceed to the rest of the settings. First of all, you have in this Sony camera, you have not as usual 2 dials only. In other cameras you have 4 dials. So the front dial in front here, you can use it for aperture. So my aperture that I am shooting with in this lens is 2.8. So I will adjust my aperture to 2.8. And for the shutter speed, I will use the back dial here. I have customized the other dial to another settings that I'm gonna tell you in the end of this episode. So don't forget to watch the episode till the end so you know how important it is to have the 4th dial and what you can use it for. So the second dial is of course for shutter speed, and usually I start with shutter speed 1/160 when I'm shooting with sunlight. When I'm shooting with sunlight, if I have plenty of light, I may go faster with my shutter speed to 1/400 or 1/600 shutter speed. But if I have less amount of light, I will keep my shutter speed at the 1/160 because I don't want to have shaky photos. If I have going slower with my shutter speed, slower than 1/160, I might have shaky photos. Yes, in some situations I can go down to 1/60th part of seconds, but not every day I have this steady hand to take a steady photo with 1/60th seconds. So to be safe, I usually keep my shutter speed on 1/160. Even I'm shooting with a flashlight, I will keep it on 1/160. So flashlight is always 1/160, but sunlight I can use variable shutter speeds because the flashlight has a constant speed. If you don't know this information, let me tell you. Flashlights have constant speed. You cannot go faster than the flashlight. So you can't crank your shutter speed to 1/250. Obviously not all flashlights, but most flashlights can't go faster than this. Some flashlights can go, but you have to make sure from your model that what is the speed, the fastest speed that you can go with your flashlight. So for now, let's say that your flashlight is same as mine. My flashlight is Goodix SK400LL. If you didn't watch this episode, make sure to watch the episode where I explained my flashlight. And now let's move on to the next setting. So the next setting is the ISO. For the ISO, I will keep my ISO at 100. You can change the ISO in the Sony cameras from this dial here. So I will keep my ISO at 100. Let's revise. Aperture 2.8, shutter speed 1/160, and ISO is 100. For the focus, the eye detection focus, it's the purple menu, and I will choose autofocus to be AFC. And also in the face eye autofocus, I will turn on the eye detection focus and choose human, of course, because I'm shooting newborns who are human. Keep in mind that newborns have very soft and very tiny lashes, and not all cameras are able to detect the tiny lashes of a human being, tiny human being. So the camera that I'm using, Sony A7 Mark IV, do a great job. She do a great job in detecting tiny human being lashes and focusing on their eyes. So that's a big yes why I love the Sony camera. By the way, this video is not sponsored by Sony in any way. So if Sony or any other company would like me to shoot a video explaining their and testing their cameras, please contact me on the information on my email on the description box below. Now going to the last dial that I have customized. You can customize your dials from the menu. You can go inside the menu and customize each button, what you want to do with it. But for me, I have customized this dial to be my white balance dial. Why I would customize it to the white balance? Because in newborn photography, I shoot with Kelvin. You know, most babies, when they are born, they have a lot of skin problems, including jaundice, that is yellow skin. So in other types of photography, photographers shoot for the correct white balance of the scene, and they use gray cards or other corrections for the white balance. But in newborn photography, I shoot to the baby skin tone. So not always the correct white balance is the right artistic white balance for this baby. Each baby can have a different white balance to correct its skin tone and how he is jaundiced or he is not jaundiced. So that's why I have this dial for fastly correcting my white balance on Kelvins when I'm shooting newborns. Usually I start my session with Kelvin 5000, and I can go it up or down depends on where I'm shooting with flash or shooting with sunlight, because my flash has different white balance and sunlight have different white balance, and baby skin has different skin tone and jaundice. So for each situation, I change my white balance, and I need fast access to the white balance. So that's why I have customized this dial to change the white balance fastly.